Bob Iger knows no bounds with his hubris. Bob Iger says top Democrat urged him to run for US president because you look the part? Alright then. I mean, look, apparently he's not going to run for US president. I mean, he shouldn't. He shouldn't. He's awful. He can barely manage a shit in a toilet. Or a piss up in a brewery. But he's apparently now obsessed with finding a successor. Because he'd like to retire again. But we all know that's false. Because, remember, this chap was still around when his previous successor was around. In fact, he was still in his office. So, yeah, no. This is all just placating and virtue signalling. Like he's just trying to appease the trades. He is unlikely looking for a successor in any real meaningful way. But anyway, shall we take a look? Yes, we shall. Hey, subscribe if you're new here. Disney nonsense coming right up. So talk of Bob Iger launching a bid for US president has swirled for years, with the likes of Oprah Winfrey even publicly backing a potential run by the Disney CEO. Why? Like, I know anyone could be, US president. There's very little actual sort of ground rules for it. But why him? He wouldn't be good. He can barely manage Disney. Like, it's falling apart under his, stewardship. So Iger had previously said he considered taking a run at the highest political office in America. So he literally goes from CEO of Disney, just run for president, why not? Alright. So Iger has now revealed that an unnamed powerful member of the Democratic Party once encouraged him to run for president, and he said to me, this is quote, "You should run for president." And I said, "Tell me why." The Disney chief said on Wednesday, the episode of podcast Let's Talk Off Camera with Kelly Ripa. And his first words out of his mouth were, "Well, you really look the part." And I said, "Give me a break, that's not enough." "No, it's not enough, obviously, you pleb." But if he seriously considered it, then it doesn't really matter, does it? Like, because he clearly thinks that he's the part, regardless of that being the reason, right? If he seriously considered running for US president, then that means he thinks he can do it. Gaslight him. Anyway, Iger declined to identify the politician who made the remark, but denied to Ripa that it was Bill Clinton. "I've never discussed running for president with Bill Clinton," Iger said. So anyway, Ripa, co-host of syndicated talk show Live with Kelly and Mark, asked Iger whether his wife, Willow Bay, was on board with him running for president, and he answered, "I would say on board would be a bit of an overstatement, but not," whereupon Ripa cut in and said, "not threatening divorce." Iger responded, "No. I think the way she said it is, when I married you, I gave you my vows for better or for worse, for whatever, richer or for poor." I mean, they're laughing all the way to the bank, these people. "I guess it would have become poorer," he continued. "It was along the lines of, look, I married you and I owe it to you to support your various endeavours and dreams. And I wouldn't say she was fully supportive, but she was not going to fight me." So apparently on this podcast as well, doesn't this just sound like... I mean, this is just food for the trades. It's not... There's no actual serious consideration here at all. Well, in terms of the presidential comments, I think he's legitimately testing the waters. But the rest of it, like the CEO and things like that, I mean, he's got no real intention of doing this. But the president stuff, I think he's actually testing the waters. Disney has a genuine history of doing this, so yeah. But anyway, he reiterated that he is actively and urgently working to find a successor as Disney CEO. He had previously stepped down as chief executive of the House Mouse in early 2020, but returned as CEO in November 2022, following the ouster of Bob Chapek. Iger's renewed Disney contract runs through the end of 2026. That's not true. He actually stays on past 2030 in advisory roles. Yes. Quote, "I think it would be safe to assume that I think about CEO succession all the time. I could say that I'm obsessed with it. Would be probably an understatement. And actually, the board and I established when I returned that would be amongst our biggest priorities, if not our biggest priority. It's actually something that I'm obviously very focused on, not just because of the past, but because I'd like to retire again and I'd like to leave the company in great hands. It's not in good hands with you, and that is my intention. And now I'm confident that not only will we do that, but we'll do so on a timely basis that works for the company and hopefully works for me as well. But yes, it's a huge priority. Right, okay then. So internal CEO candidates the Disney board is said to be considering are its 4 division heads, Disney Entertainment co-chairs Dana Walden, Alan Bergman, Jimmy Pitaro, Josh D'Amaro. But so Iger also told Ripper that he was very involved in the Beatles Get Back documentary from Peter Jackson. Alright, interesting. Why? We had a screening at my house and Ringo Starr and Paul McCartney came along with Olivia Harrison, George Harrison's wife, and we had a dinner at the house after we all watched a few hours of it. And I had to give a toast and I looked around the table and there's Ringo and Paul. Why are you telling these stories, Bob? Like, no one gives a shit. Now, don't forget, 1964, the Beatles came to the US. I'm 13 years old. We talked about musical taste. I mean, that was it. And I'm there. They are in my house, and my toast was, in my life, I've had many pinch-me moments, and I try never to take them for granted, and tonight is a real pinch-me moment for me. And I think Paul or Ringo, I can't remember which one, got up and said, this is a pinch-me moment for us too. Did they all just suck one another off after that or something? What is this? Oh, it's a pinch-me moment. It's a pinch-me moment for me as well. Like, God, this is ridiculous. Anyway, interestingly enough, all of us together watching that. This is just so pathetic. Holy shit. Holy shit. Iger told Ripper about being one of the last 2 people alongside legendary composer John Williams to be selected for knighthood. God, that was a mistake. In June of 2022, I got a call from someone at Buckingham Palace telling me that I was being named Honorary Knight of the British Empire by Queen Elizabeth and that one other person was getting that distinction. Then that was John Williams, and we were both told. And I wondered, well, there goes my knighthood. Apparently after the Queen died. Oh, okay. Well, there you go then. Ceremony did eventually happen last month at Windsor Castle. Wait, so are you Sir Bob Iger? He responded that he isn't because his designation is as an honorary knight of the British Empire. But I'm still going to call you Sir Bob. This is just absolute... This is just Hollywood filleting themselves. Bob Iger for president? What do you think? Let me know down below. Take care. Bye-bye now.